Recorded Books and R.B. Digital present Watch Out for the Big Girls 3 by J. M. Benjamin. Narrated by Mirron Willis. Prologue. Edge nodded to the sounds of Meek Mill's Dream Chasers CD as she looked at the address she had been given for a second time. The last thing she wanted was to invade the wrong house and foul up the one job that would change her life forever. The reality of being home still hadn't set in, but the old familiar feeling of putting in work was coming back to her like an adult riding a bike for the first time in years. For a second, Edge thought she had heard the sound of shots going off. She peered out of the rental car's windows. She didn't see anything out of the ordinary, so she brushed it off. Once she was convinced the coast was clear, she slipped on her black leather gloves, opened the driver's door, and exited the vehicle. As an extra precaution, she looked left, then right, before making a beeline to the two-story home. Diamond had given her a picture of the intended victim, so she knew what, or rather who, she was looking for. Diamond hadn't told her anything about the victim, other than that she had compromised their operation. Edge had been familiar with the double G's before she had gone to prison. She and Diamond used to have mixed views on what the organization represented, which was why Edge was surprised to discover that Diamond had become a member. Edge had been hearing about the double G's while she was away, and she found it difficult to believe that Diamond was a part of the stories. Nonetheless, Edge was grateful and appreciative for Diamond's contribution to her release, no matter what the cost. Edge had always been a woman of her word, so when Diamond told her she was ready to cash in on her debt 48 hours after Edge had gotten out of prison, Edge accepted the job respectfully. She was sure it would be an easy enough task to fulfill, kill one woman. What Edge was not sure of, though, was whether she wanted to be a double G. She knew she had to give the idea some more thought. All that Diamond had briefed her on sounded good, but still, the part about Diamond having feelings for and dealing with the head of the organization didn't sit well with Edge. She couldn't see herself taking orders from someone who had Diamond's heart when she still loved Diamond herself. Edge shook off the thoughts and focused on the job at hand. The first thing she noticed was the door ajar. Edge's spider senses went off. She got that tingling feeling she always got whenever trouble or danger was around the corner. Edge cautiously pushed open the door. She checked to see if there was any forceful entry, but she didn't see anything to support the thought. Edge took one last look back before slipping into the home and closing the door behind her. Immediately, she heard the commotion coming from upstairs. The way the top level was designed, Edge could see shadows in the distance on the top part of the wall and ceiling. The story of my fucking life. She realized it was not going to be an easy task at all. She knew turning back was not an option, though. She had committed to a job, and she intended to carry it out or die trying. Edge made her way over to the steps. She took the first 3 in one motion and scaled the side of the wall. She had her .40 caliber in one hand and her 007 blade in the other, both of which she was equally skilled with. The farther she got up the steps, the louder the voices grew. Edge couldn't make out what was being said, but she could tell there were both men and women in the room. Think, Edge. She was tempted to bum-rush the room, but she laughed off the idea. Bitch, this is not the Wild West, she reminded herself. All types of ideas ran through Edge's mind. Her thoughts were interrupted by the unmistakable words that came out of the room and bounced off the hallway walls. The words were enough to cause Edge to plant her back flush against the wall. She took a deep breath. There was no doubt in her mind she had the right address now. She knew it was either now or never. Edge took another deep breath. 1, 2, 3, she counted. Then she barged into the room like she used to do when she was on the force before she turned crooked. The room was completely caught by surprise as
Sample complete. Ready to continue?